So I'm going to present some research on fuzzy. This is actually fuzzy research which has actually been going on. It's like the story of what I've been doing over 20 years. As I've said, I've actually been doing fuzzy for a long time. So this is sort of like the journey from 20 years research. And this is a presentation which is intended for a non-fuzzy audience. So I'm going to try and just convey some of the stuff we're doing and try and make it, say, more interesting, hopefully interesting and accessible for a non-fuzzy audience. So I'm going to start talking about expert variation. I'm going to actually not talk about fuzzy to begin with. I'm going to talk about something different, expert variation. And say, this goes back to my days as a PhD student. So this is about actually over 20 years ago now. And I started doing my PhD, and I was doing my PhD in a hospital. I got the professor that was supervising my PhD was interested in biomedical research, and so I just happened to join his research group. And the question they were interested in was what's called immediate neonatal assessment. And what we mean is assessing the health of a newborn infant within literally the first seconds of life. It turns out that giving birth is a very, very stressful process. It's a very stressful process for both the mother and the infant. Even in sort of the best medical systems in the world, sort of advanced medical care, ultimately you can have maternal death as a result of labour. That's running at about a few per 100,000. So of the order of 1 to 5 mothers per 100,000 births will die. You can also have infant mortality, infant death. And again, even in best systems in the world, best medical situations in the world, infant mortality is somewhere around 5 per 1,000. So 5 per 1,000 births may result in infant death. And that's incredibly high risk of death, in fact. There's a sort of, I always sort of preface this, this is real work, and this is real work with real doctors, and real doctors make inappropriate jokes. And one of the inappropriate jokes they make about this sort of subject area is you're more likely to die on the first day of your life than on any other, apart from the last one. Okay? So 5 per 1,000 chances of death on one day is an incredibly high number. What causes infant death? I mean, there's several causes of infant death. One of them is asphyxiation due to lack of oxygen. What happens is that all of us in the room now, you're breathing in oxygen,